All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have Tunde Ambaton and Kaide Ladindi. So let's move straight to our next conversation. As Nigerians continue to be inundated by scarcity of cash, the cause and the way out remain some sort of mystery. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has been blamed for the scarcity of cash being experienced in some parts of the country. The Association of Senior Staff of Banks, Insurance and Financial Institutions attributed the worsening cash shortage across the country to inability of the CBN to meet the cash demands of commercial banks. The president of the association, Olusoji Uluwole, highlighted the impact of the scarcity, particularly as the festive season approaches with increased demand for cash, for shopping and business transactions. Citing statistics, Uluwole stated that banks collectively require at least 20 million naira daily to operate, with ATMs needing approximately 8 million naira each and 4 million naira over the counter. Kaidi, what do you make of the allegations that the CBN should be blamed for the cash scarcity, not the deposit money bank, but the CBN?
You see, it's a complex issue. It's a complex issue. You know, apart from the blame they've made, I had to even speak to some well-informed bankers to really tell us some of the things that are happening so that we don't just throw the tantrums. Because for me, I wanted to put the blame on the doorstep of the bankers. Okay. Because, for example, one strange thing I found very strange, that the banker actually educated me. I hope I can believe him. Now, how do you explain going to banks, going to ATMs, you don't get to see money, and you have the POS operators giving you any cash you want? But he was able to understand, he was able to explain, because I was saying the bankers must have been giving this money and probably getting some kind of interest in them. That's what I also think. Until he explained to me, maybe because he's a banker, he explained to me that that is not true. According to him, what he said is that there is a problem with this idea of cashless society that we're trying to build. Okay. But a lot of markets, because apart from these two sources of money coming to bank, that's the CBN and the retailers, that a whole lot of people in the banks now don't take their money to banks, especially the northerners per se. You know, they will do this business. I went to my 12 market a few days ago, so this is not trying to point any region. Now, you will see the cash flowing, pure cash. I wanted to move 50,000 here, I was given. I moved to the next day, I was given. Another one, 50,000. So they have it in bulk, and this money is not going through the banking system. So I just feel that there must be a kind of, I'm not a professional banker, but I think there must be a kind of system that will allow some of this cash, you know, to be mopped up. I mean, to allow it flow among people. Otherwise, there's going to be bigger problem. For someone like me, I'm not feeling it much because I hardly do with cash.
When you say moving around, is it that people are buying selling the Naira?
No, people are retaining their money. They don't take it to the bank. So apart from the fact that CBN is not giving enough cash, for whatever reasons, maybe CBN should speak for themselves, but the retailers are not taking their money enough to these banks. Another way
they don't trust the process.
No, it's not about trust. Exactly. Maybe they also don't want stories. When they will say they need their cash, and a lot of people are yet to also move away from this myopic way of no, I want my cash. I don't want to do transaction. I don't trust all this, you know, which is also a major issue. So I sincerely believe that the banks are helpless. The banks shouldn't be blamed. The banks need a whole lot of help if they can be trusted on that explanation they gave to me about the POS.
How about the CBN?
The CBN, for me, I sincerely feel that CBN excuse is likely to be that we are pushing for a cashless society. Let us do a whole lot of transaction that can be traced rather than some money moving and also promoting some kind of money laundering.
Yeah,
trust me, I'm not their spokesman.
I'm still going to talk about the cashless policy. But Tunde, let's look at this. Since the time of the Naira redesign, this issue of cash scarcity has been, and it's still here. Do you think the CBN is showing sincerity and capacity in tackling this issue?
Well, let me pose a question to the bankers.
Okay.
I mean the commercial banks.
Okay.
Is it the CBN that is responsible for the mint cash you see at social parties and social gatherings? People are selling raw cash. Mint cash, I mean meat,
yes.
fresh from the meat. Is it the CBN that is pushing out or the commercial banks? From where are those people sourcing the money? Because when you want to exchange 10,000 at a social party, yes, they will ask you to put 2,000. Where do they get the money from?
Which is illegal, by the way.
Yes, the CBN is
Section
the bankers' bank,
CBN
not
Act.
Commercial banks. Nobody goes to the CBN to withdraw cash. It is the central commercial bank that you go to. From where did those people get the money? Let me ask, when last have you collected new notes from any commercial bank? They should answer that question. Number two is that Mr. Oluwole was saying that because of the redesign of the Naira. Yes, if Nigerians don't trust the system again, how do you expect them to push the money back to the bank? When you go to your bank, you cannot withdraw cash. And for retailers, go to Mushin, go to even my wife, at times she will make sales. Some POS will come to her and tell her that please give you your money. And they will transfer the money into her account. And for people like that, she doesn't also need cash to go and make her purchase from anywhere. The distributors of merchandise, they will come and say, Madam, we are giving you 200,000, 250,000. Just transfer the money. She will transfer the money to them. But another thing is that why I say the bank is culpable is that to every transaction that you make to the bank, or these people make, if you go to any POS, you want to transact 50,000, he or she will charge you probably 500 naira or 2,000 naira. But by the time the man is sending the money to her account, the bank will charge her for the transaction he or she has made. So the bank is also making money from the operation of the POS. So they have no reason whatsoever to tell us that it is the bank or the central bank, because the ordinary people don't go to central bank. The central bank is a bank of last resort.
For the bankers.
For the bankers. It's a bank for the bankers. So they first of all have to answer that question. Why is it that we cannot get new notes from the bank? Is it
so
that
the blame game?
The blame game is not sincere. Yes, I can understand that Nigerians...
It's lame.
It's lame. I can understand that Nigerians have no system in the banking system. Why would they? When we need your 250,000 naira during the obnoxious Naira design, people, some people are operation theaters. They have money, they cannot collect money. True. Private hospitals, government hospitals, they cannot make any purchase. There's no money. Nobody wants you to go through because they won't get their cash. So they are also culpable for creating lack of confidence in their own system. The majority of Nigerians, the bankers are responsible. But first of all, I want somebody to come out and say who is responsible for the new notes that we get at Owambe parties. The meat that we get at Owambe parties.
You talked about cashless policy. How will you assess it? Since the time it's been on, do you think it has recorded success?
Maybe not. The word is not success, but there's a whole lot of improvement. For example, I can't remember the last time I brought out cash to load my phone. Okay. I can't remember the last time I deal with cash. You understand? I can't remember the last time I took cash to a filling station to buy fuel. So there's a whole lot of paradigm shifts in the way we relate. And it's also a good way. Even in many companies now, you can trace the record of how much gets into the company through transactions. You understand? So there is a whole lot of improvement. But like you said, the parameter for judging whether it's successful, I don't know, you are the examiner. But technically speaking, I think we should marry the two. Okay. Let's avoid this carrying cash at different places. True. This idea of mint, if we follow the law that dealt with Bobrisky, trust me, all these people should be picked up. They don't have to sell it before they are picked up.
Section 21 of the CBN Act of 2007 talks about prohibition of buying and selling the Naira. Why is it that the CBN is not implementing its own laws?
Well,
you talked about the issue
I will take you back to that place.
Yes.
The CBN is a banker's bank. The bank based on the receipts, the returns from the commercial bank, CBDs, and some others. The thing now is that when they push the money down to the commercial bank, who is responsible? Let us
to check the bank.
How do they check it now? They now send a message last week that if you go to any ATM and they cannot disburse money to you, you should send a text message to a particular one. We all know Nigeria. This is a country that is absolutely difficult to keep law and to enforce law. There's one thing to make laws. There's another thing for enforcement. So you need a whole gamut of system to enforce the laws made by the central bank. Okay, but the whole thing lies on the commercial bank.
Commercial bank. Just hold that thought. We have Wilson calling from Ojo. Wilson, so good to have you join us.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Let's talk.
Thank you for your show. I want to contribute to this cash scarcity. All right?
Okay.
One angle is that, you know, these kidnappers and all that, they collect money in cash. And when they collect the cash, those cash, they are out of circulation. You know, you hear they're collecting millions, thousands from victims. So that's another angle that could create this scarcity of cash. That's my position. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Quite valid. Quite valid. I think irrespective of the quantum of cash we are dealing with, because these guys don't want the money to be transacted because it can be traced. Yes. So they want cash. So people have been forced to even be keeping money for the evil day. That's how bad it is. So I think it's also a gamut of so many things government needs to fix, including insecurity.
But is there like a nexus, like a connection between this cash scarcity and inflation? Do you think the CBN this thing is a deliberate effort to reduce the amount of cash in circulation?
Yes, and at the same time, like I said, I don't want to be tempted to speak for them.
Yes.
But CBN is at the vanguard of preaching cashless society. Okay. I am for it.
Sure.
I am for it. But like as we know, there are so many retailers, there are so many market women and men who will say, give me cash. But, you know, the POS is there to sort that out. But like you said, let the chain be sincere. Let the chain be transparent. Okay. Let us know that this money that the POS is getting is the same money we also get from the ATM machines.
Okay. All right, let's move straight to, well said, let's move straight to our third conversation.